6. The Spuhr ideal chassis system. Made right in Lotta Shoppinga, Sweden by Spuhr Albi Dalby. Small town in Lotta Shoppinga. From our friends overseas in the mighty country of Sweden. One of their major exports is amazingly good heavy metal. Just like our friends in Finland and Norway. Anyway, got one of these in the shop. So figured it's pretty sweet chassis. There's a whole bunch of reviews online. I honestly was not aware of this and thought, hey, I'm going to be one of the first guys to review this guy. Well, nope. I am Johnny come lately to that party. There's reviews as old as 3 or more years old on the internets about this. So if you really want a proper, in-depth review with the man himself, Håkan Spuhr from Sweden, then look that up because he does a way better job of explaining this than I'm sure I will. Probably do as good a job as I did pronouncing the name of where this comes from. Lotta Shoppinga. I don't know. Probably got that wrong, but I don't know. Anyway, here's the box in which it comes. Just a plain old cardboard box. On the side here, you got your CH100101 Spuhr chassis. And this one is for a Remington 700 short action. LCP, not sure what that means. FDE, that's going to be your color. 16-inch forend. And U.S. patent number 11.105.582. And some other barcode crap there. So let's get into this guy, huh? Let's see how it comes here. So open the box. We got a cardboard flap. And looks like a chassis system. We've got some literature. We'll set that aside for now. Take this out. Oh, we got some screws and stuff here. And there's the rest of it. And looks appears to be the fore end. So we'll get rid of that box there. And get into this part. This must be the meat and potatoes of it all. Oh yeah. So here it is in the box. That is all folded up. And then the fore end right here. Oh my, that's very nice. Look at that. Very impressive machining right off the bat. First impression is wow. This is impressive. So let's see here. Nice positive snap into action there. And okay, so let's get you up close here. So again, very, very nice machining. I mean, this is, wow, visually just very impressive. FDE color, nice engraving, stamping, whatnot. Lots of threaded holes, drilled and tapped holes for mounting all kinds of good stuff. Got your Spuhr logo right there. Another logo right there on the grip. Magazine release catch. And the buttstock area here. And a little bag rider feature with more drilled and tapped holes. Looks like you can switch that out. So they must offer some sort of other options for the bag rider system, or just take it completely off if you don't like that. And it looks like a barricade stop, some teeth here, some serrated sort of grippiness there for barricade use, I reckon. Very soft, nice Limb Saver branded recoil pad. And then, so that's just an overview there of the main part. And then the forend here, I'll show you that. So this is where it would attach to here. And just, I mean, that's amazing. Looks like alien technology there. That is just amazingly machined. I mean, geez, look at that. They've got artistic little borders around everything. The coating, I don't know. I'm gonna guess that's powder coat, because it is a very nice even coat, whatnot. But yeah, just look at that machining. I mean, that's amazing. They must have some real state-of-the-art equipment there over there at Spuhr headquarters. Spuhr. This looks like a tiny little, obviously, it is a tiny little Picatinny rail section, and one could put that anywhere one desires. Then, let's see here. So an assortment of screws. Looks like the Torx variety. Looks like a couple action screws in there. And probably just mounting screws to attach to the forend, I would assume. Some cap head, taper head style, large Torx. And then, yeah, here's a couple. I'm going to assume those are the action screws. Pretty short, and they're both the same length. That's kind of weird. We'll get into that, because I do have a barreled action to mount into this thing. So we'll get into that a little later on. Show you the complete package. And then we got 3, 6, 9, 10 of these guys. Some additional screws here and a Spuhr branded bag. M4 by 10, Torx 20, 10 pieces. Part numbers and whatnot, but smaller screws for probably these smaller holes, one would guess. And then one bag with one even smaller screw, another Torx head, not sure what that's for offhand. Maybe the rail section, I'm not sure. Then we got some literature. And a couple stickers, it looks like. Yeah, that's cool. The Spuhr Ideal Chassis System. And then a proud user, Spuhr. Okay. And then a manual. Look at that. So I'm sure it's got all the details in here. Very well printed, easy to read manual, showing you all the features and adjustments and instructions for using it, maintenance and care, parts list, and whatnot. That's very nice, they include that. I'm going to quote Mr. Håkan Spuhr and his little motto: anything worth killing is certainly worth overkilling. And in this case, that is a spot on remark, because wow, talk about overkill. I mean, this is great. This is amazing. All right, let's start with the most obvious thing here, the side folder. So we've got a latch system here. And unlike some brands, this one is extremely easy to employ and actuate. Right? You don't have to sit there and struggle. I mean, I know I'm not the most muscle-bound guy in the world, but there are a few side folder chassis, Christensen arms, that are just dang near impossible to operate because they're so dang tight. So, easy to activate, actuate, whatever you want to call it. And then it has a little nubby device here that clips into this part. So just folding it up and then kind of snaps into place there, keeping it well stowed. And then just a simple little tug. Pulls it back out. Okay, and then while we're here, I've read that this is also adjustable to account for wear and tear over time. The engagement surface here, being metal on metal, may kind of wear out over time. So apparently these 3 screws here allow one to adjust, I'm going to guess, the engagement of this latch system. Probably not gonna, I don't know. I don't want to, this isn't mine, this is the customer's. I don't want to mess with that just in case that's kind of preset at the factory. So we're just gonna leave that. I've learned enough over the years to not get into things like that if you don't have to, because that can lead to some trouble. And I want to deliver this today. I want to get paid for it, so let's just not mess with that. Where the action sits now, you're going to notice here that it's black. That is not how it comes originally. Originally, out of the box, this is just painted the same color. It is black because we have bedded this for our customer's action, which is an American rifle company, coup de grace. So this is bedding. This is black stuff. This is just bedding. Mr. Håkon Spuhr recommends bedding it. It's not necessary. Like with any chassis system, you know, it's machined real well, but in reality, it's kind of a V-block, so you've only got 2 points of contact, front and back. Well, bedding is going to fill in the gaps and make it a one-to-one fit. So that's how we roll here at Accurate Rifles and Restorations. We don't cheap out or cut corners. We do the whole 9 yards because, like he says, anything worth killing is certainly worth overkilling. There's something about, I think it's, they've sunk the action bed down a little further into the stock for a little bit more positive contact for those that don't bed this. So I just wanted to mention that. I've heard that in a few interviews and whatnot about that. And then the action screws, a little pocket there. So yeah, that's going to be your front action screw, and then your rear's kind of between the grip and the trigger guard here. The grip itself has an adjustment. So we've got a Torx screw here and here. When you loosen those, that allows the grip itself to be adjusted forward and back. Looks like about 3/8 of an inch travel maybe. So that allows one with extra long fingies to get their trigger engagement set appropriately to wherever they like it. You've got a very robust trigger guard here. The grip is nice in the hand. It fills my palm very well. You've got a thumb stop here if you like, a nice little thumb rest. Let's see if you can see this. So yeah, that's nice. I like that. I'd have to play around. I've never had a chassis where you could adjust that, so that's kind of just a nice option, you know. It's there if you need it. And let's see what else. The grip itself is AR format, AR Armalite rifle. So if one would like to switch that out for something different, there's a 3/16" socket, Allen style screw down there, just like any other AR-15 style. That attaches to the movable part of this. You can swap that out and use any standard AR-15 style grip if one wishes. This one, to me, feels very nice, so I would probably run with this for the time being. See how that feels over time, and then just kind of roll with it. Don't like it? Switch it out. This is a standard S.I.C.S. magazine well. I'm sure it would fit the AW style magazines and whatnot. So, you know, standard steel. This is a short action. Standard steel magazine is going to fit in there. This is a 5-rounder, so I'm sure it would accommodate any of the S.I.C.S pattern magazines. And that presents itself nicely where it's supposed to, right up top there. And drop-free design. And the fit, when it's in there, is fairly good. That's the follower moving. The magazine box itself, you know, it has your typical play. It's got to have a little tolerance, a little clearance there for operation, but not excessive. So moving on back, we got our cheek piece here. That is, you guessed it, adjustable. So we got just a turny screw, a lever kind of screw lever, and that one, when loose, loosens up your cheek riser. So that's all the way up. And that's all the way down. 3 torque style screws on the top. So if they sell some sort of different cheek riser, you could replace that if you like. And then a simple turn of that screw locks it in place very nicely. That is strong. Absolutely no play in that or rattle. I snugged this down with my fingies, no tools required. And it ain't moving. So that's nice, that's impressive. So there's your cheek riser, your length of pull back here. Let's see here, am I locked? Okay, I'm just a weakling. All right, so you squeeze these two deals, and that allows you to adjust this. So it's pretty stiff. I mean, I'd rather see it be stiff than loose. So let's see here. We got that position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 positions. And from what I've read, it has a limiter stop style thing. Let's get into the manual. Presets and tuning. So yeah, we've got length of pull presets here. So as an example, say you shoot prone and you like your length of pull at a certain place for your prone shooting. And then you want to switch up to like barricade use or sitting or some other position that's quite a bit different than a prone. You can set these limiters. So these screws, that's probably why there's a bunch of extra screws here. Some of those screws will go in to your different positions. So you can basically have two preset positions, I think is what they're trying to get across there. Right, so there's some threaded holes there in the, right there, and that's where they're saying to put these screws in to limit your shortest pull and then your longest pull. Right? But just like cheek piece, that locks in real good. I find it's easier for me to kind of grip it like this rather than that, but you know, whatever. And then the pad itself has a push button kind of catch here, and that allows one to adjust the recoil pad on the back in terms of height. So that's very nice. Again, you know, if you're shooting prone, you're probably going to want that way higher, so you can bury that in your shoulder without moving the gun too much. And then middle position, and then fully down. And again, just like everything else, that locks it in super tight, not moving unless you push that button. So that is really cool. Toolless adjustments on all these, on your length of pull, your cheek riser, and your comb, or whatever, the recoil pad kind of thing. So that's going to be everything for the main body of the system here. Let's go on to the fore end. This particular fore end is 16 inches long as advertised. So it is going to bolt into the main body right here like this. So pay attention to that. These 9 large holes up front here are for mounting that to the main body. So here's the towards enemy side, and there's the back towards the shooter side. Just for reference here as we go through this. As I mentioned, we have more attachments than one would ever need. ARCA rail system on the bottom, and they sell some sort of adapter that pinches onto this, and you kind of squeeze it together, and it'll, kind of like any typical ARCA attachment, give you the ability to slide that forward or back to your heart's content. Fully adjustable all the way along this to, you know, from here all the way up front. And these little divots on either side is where that little device, there's little balls, like ball bearings kind of thing, that when you pinch it, it raises the balls up so you can move it, and then when you let go or release it, the balls sink down into that, locking it firmly into place. I've seen it at trade shows and things. It is very impressive, just like everything else. It's rock solid, not moving. And it does come with a Picatinny rail section here, a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spacer. Well, 1, 2, 3, 5 space pick rail. So you can put this anywhere you want on the whole thing. And the Spuhr patented mounting system here. So if you look closely, you have little circular bosses on the back of this thing, as well as your through holes for the screws. And on the fore end, you have corresponding circular female bosses. You will also find them on various places of the main chassis. Here, on the bottom of the bag rider, and so on and so forth. Well, very clever system here is that the male portion is slightly larger than the female portion. And the idea here is you force in you force the male into the female so that nothing can move. There's kind of a running joke about that. I'll let you fill in the blanks on that, but kind of stuff that gets lost in translation from Swedish to U.S. American English. But a lot of people hear that and kind of snicker a little bit. So so you can see there's no screws in that, and it ain't falling out. It is basically snug. And then you put the 3 screws in there, and that puppy ain't going nowhere. So extremely rigid way to mount stuff. This is how that comes on their ideal scope mount system and other products that they sell. So say you want your pick rail, you know, up front somewhere, smush it down, and then you take your 3 screws, your beefy M4 Torx screws. I think they're M4, I'm not sure. Whatever they are, whatever size. And like I said, you mount that in there, and you got one rigid bipod mount there, or flashlight, or whatever the heck you want to put on there. So we got some QD attachments there for slings. We got 2 QDs, one here on the side, right here. Oh, back up a little bit too. Here, there's the numbers on the length of pull. That's pretty cool. 1 through 5, numbered. Okay, so I guess that's about it for that. What do you say we put a barreled action in this and see how that looks? So here we have a very nice American Rifle Company coup de grace. Short action, standard bull face with a Proof Research Sendero 24-inch carbon fiber 8-twist barrel and a dead air suppressor mount on the muzzle end there, threaded 5/8-24. Trigger Tech, is it diamond? Yeah, Trigger Tech diamond. Trigger Tech diamond on there. We are clear. There's nothing in the chamber. We've got the pivoting bolt handle with the proprietary bolt knob. Customer did not like the red, so we went ahead and Cerakoted that for him, as well as the shank of the barrel and the little ring of steel on the muzzle end. Coated that for him, real nice like. See our laser engraving on there, plus the cartridge designation. A little extra oil for no extra charge. So that's what's going to be living in this chassis. Now, it has been bedded, so this is going to be a bit of a snug fit. I'm going to attempt to do this on camera without being in the vise. So let's see here. Oh yeah, yep. Just nestles right on in there. Nice 1-to-1 fit. Snug fit. Then we will get a wrench for our action screws, which are the same length. So it doesn't really matter which one goes where. Start up here and just get this, get his finger snug, get it started. There, we're just contacting. And then we're going to fish this down into here. Just enough clearance there to get around the grip. Let's make sure we're in the rearward. I left this loose so we could kind of do that without struggling. Okay, there we're starting to contact. Now I reckon this is probably at least 45 inch-pounds. Action screw torque. There we go. Torque action screws, 2 45 inch-pounds. I was right. 45 inch-pounders. Right about there. Get the appropriate driver bit. Not quite. Okay. There's 45. Starting to look like a riffle now, huh? All right, so our fore end is going to simply slide. Try not to scrape it. Slide on in right there. And then we're going to use our really giant cap head torque screws here. All right, we're going to start with the middle ones. Just get those fingies snug. Now they say you can use a little bit of Loctite on these if you like. Okay, there are 3 starting, getting that fore end on there. Okay, now we'll just go around and snug those up real nice. Okay, look at that. That's nice. Pretty sweet. Get this portion out of the way so we get our bolt back in. We are still empty in the chassis, in the chamber, that is. So there you go. That's what a coup de grace looks like installed into the Spuhr S.I.C.S ideal chassis system. And added bonus here, unlike a lot of other stocks and chassis, we don't have to do any modification to the back end in order to get that trigger hanger to fit. So that's pretty cool too. I didn't have to cut out, a lot of times with the American Rifle Company coup de grace, you have to cut out a little bit right behind that chassis, or right behind the trigger hanger, just to get the thing to fit. So that's not necessary here. We've got a very nice fit back here. I like also how they don't cover up the barrel shank, so you can quickly see at a glance the cartridge, if it's engraved where it's supposed to be. Clearly visible. Clearly visible. And you can see who made it. Accurate Rifles and Restorations, huh? In this case. Pretty nice, huh? So yeah. It is not the lightest thing in the world. I did not get a weight on this thing. It's probably advertised. Go ahead and look that up on the website. Other reviews may have included that. But this is the weight I would expect for a PRS style gun, which is what it's pretty much intended for. So it's definitely not a hunting rig by any stretch of the imagination. But if I get this all set to where I like it, man, that's going to be nice. All right, so I'm going to get a scope mounted on this bugger, and we're going to take it out and do a little field testing, make sure everything's working before we hand it off to our customer. But I got to say, I'm jealous. This is another real high-end rifle going out of my shop that I honestly wish I owned. So Spuhr, if you guys want to give me one of these for free, I will gladly take it. I've given you a nice review. So yeah, I think I deserve one. No, just kidding. So real quick, let's see. What is the price tag on this guy? I think this thing is close to $2 grand. So that's going to be a limitation factor for a lot of people. It is not cheap. It is a high-priced item, but like anything, if you want quality, you're going to have to spend the money, right? You can get much cheaper chassis options. Everyone knows that. So I don't know. Don't you know? If you're cheap, then you're not going to like it. So that's all there is to it. If money is not that big of a deal to you, then I would say it's worth it. So I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10. This is great. I guess 9 out of 10 since it's $2,000. I guess that's going to be a little bit of a turnoff for some people, some folks. But I mean, amazing look, amazing craftsmanship. Although it's made by robots, but you know, whatever. The materials seem very good. Again, if you want the alloys and everything like that, just go to Spuhr's website and look all that stuff up. I'm not going to spout all that off. Who cares? Don't care too much, really. If it works, it works. And from what I could tell, this is as solid as they come in terms of rigidity. And I don't know, just very nice, very, very nice. Spuhr, very good job. Fit and finish, 10 out of 10. Appearance, 10 out of 10. You know, what else can you say? It's great. So I don't know, I'm not going to blabber on many more about this. This is, that's all I can say. If you got $1,800 burning a hole in your pocket, go get one. It's made in Sweden. That's pretty sweet right there. I mean, you know, I like to support the USA manufacturers, but Sweden has, you know, it's amazing they can even do this over there, to be honest with you. So throw the old Swedes a bone and pick yourself up a S.I.C.S today. So as I mentioned earlier, consult the Spuhr website to find out all the details, all the options, all the accessories, whatnot you can get with this. I know they have some sort of weight system you can attach to this whole thing, make it heavier, if that's what you want. Okay, so this is Jeff Montgomery with Accurate Rifles and Restorations in Casper, Wyoming. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, thumbs up on the video there. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. I'd love to have you on board as a family member, Team Accurate Rifles and Restorations. Subscribe to the channel, please, and leave a comment. What do you think about this chassis? I know everybody's going to say it's too expensive, so leave that. Do you own one? How do you like it? I'd love to hear from actual users, field testers of this. Do you hate it? Do you love it? What do you think? Let's have a conversation. Yeah, so once again, thank you very much for watching. Jeff Montgomery, Accurate Rifles and Restorations. Contact info in the description if you're looking for a gunsmith. I'm your guy. Premium service, high quality, custom rifles, restorations, modifications, alterations, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.